All right, guys. Thank you so much, and welcome to another edition of Financial Fitness. And today, guys, I have a special guest with me, and I really just wanted to go and find the best people that I know in the financial industry to bring to you to give you knowledge and empower you in this endeavor, because I do understand that financial fitness is an important part of our life, because really it is detrimental to how we live. You see, having a proper financial goal and being able to set yourself financially, that allows you to be able to take care of your family presently. And also, if just in case something unfortunate happens, and we all know that the only destinations out of this life is, we can't get out of it alive, right? So definitely we all know that's going to be the case. So today, really, I have with me here one of my great friend, and we've had the chance to discussed a couple of things through financial educations, and I've noticed what she's been doing in the industry through Quench Financial, which is her company. And today I really wanted to bring her out here to educate us, empower us on that financial journey, and hopefully, there is something that you can take away from this. And today's guest is Galita, and she is a certified financial education instructor and an advocate for financial literacy, just like myself. Her motto is give him a fish, you'll feed him for a day, but teach him how to fish, you'll feed him for a lifetime. Now, we've heard this saying so many times, but to the context that she's going to break that down to you to make you understand how this is her motto, I'm definitely looking forward to this, guys. She is very passionate about teaching millennials how to take control over their life by teaching them how to take control over their finances. And that is exactly why I'm here with you guys on a day-to-day basis, to be able to empower you and help you get on that journey. And we understand that financial fitness is how we get there. Really, the motto for me as far as financial fitness is to help you through a financial workout session where I bring individuals that I like and trust and bring them to basically share this stage with and bring you things that will add value to you. Now, Galita holds a master's degree in business administration and has a background in corporate finance for over 6 years, guys. Now, with that being said, I don't know about you, but I'm excited because I don't know what she prepared for us today, but all I can tell you is that it's financially lit. So today we're not only going to have a workout session, but we're going to have a lit session. All right. So let me go ahead and not taking too much of her time. Let me bring her out right now. Galita.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, how are you? And welcome. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you? Thank you for having me.
No, definitely. It is my pleasure. And thank you for everything that you're doing on the financial space, especially through the Quench Financial. I know that you're doing a lot of great things helping people. I've seen some of the work that you've been doing, especially through testimonials and things like that. So tell me a little bit about yourselves besides the intro that I have here.
Not too much. Pretty much that sums it up what I like to do when it comes to finance. So I'm a little bit about myself personally. I'm a Haitian native, so I'm from Haiti. So I speak Creole.
Hey,
right, exactly. Not boule. Everybody knows that response. So I'm from Haiti. Aside from finances, I love photography. I love creation. I love doing creative things. When I'm not talking about finance, I'm very passionate about finance, obviously. But sometimes I do take some time off to focus on some hobbies that I have, which is photography. So again, my motto is teaching. So that's why I'm a certified financial educator. So I take pride in teaching others about financial literacy, about what I've learned, what I believe that can help them, and pretty much focusing on making sure that people are sustainable when it comes to their own financial independence, so they can make their own financial decisions without having to rely on someone else all the time. I'm not saying you should be an expert. You don't need to be a financial advisor. You don't need to have a master's degree in finance. However, you need some basic financial education, which is what I focus on.
Definitely, definitely. And one of the things we both can agree on is that, our high school, for example, did not empower us enough to be able to make financial decisions. For personally, I got into this financial journey because I've made some mistakes early on, and I've learned, So by being able to walk the walk, I'm now able to find myself in a position where I'm like, you know what, this is important, because we don't get much of it, not even in college, because
No.
so just believe it, you pay so much money, and yet once you're done, you have to go on your own quest to educate yourself.
Yeah, it's just the school system is just not very practical. It's more so based on examples of what it could be. So, for example, instead of like, I know for me, when I was in my master's level of education, instead of having us do analysis or stock valuations on actual companies that are in the stock market, they would make you make up your own company. So, you can make whatever you want. Obviously, the numbers have to make sense. They have to be logical. You can't just make anything you want. But I feel like if they were to make it more so real life examples rather than, in theory examples, then it would be something that would be more beneficial.
Yeah,
to us.
I definitely understand. And what got you into the journey of, having to educate people and empower them when it comes to financial education? What got you started?
I feel like it came naturally. I've always been passionate about finance, business since I was in high school. I did several high school competitions for businesses when I was in high school. Nice. So that I was always into business. So that was never, I knew that is something that I always wanted to do when it was finance or business, whatever. I never wanted to do anything but that. So because that was what I knew that I wanted to do, I just developed my mindset to learn about more of these topics. And as time goes on, people would ask me questions about finance related topics. So then I would find joy explaining it. So that pretty much became, okay, you know what? That should be teaching other people what they don't know based on what I know. Because I spend a lot of time learning and researching and reading about it because I'm so passionate about it. So then people will naturally like, oh, what do you think I should do about this? What do you think I should do about that? So then people would naturally gravitate towards me and ask me questions about it because I would have the knowledge.
Awesome. So we are in for a treat, guys. As you can see, she has a passion, she has a desire, and now we need to be ready to learn. So I'm super excited for what you're about to share with us, because I do know it's definitely going to add lots of value to us. So let me not take too much of your time, and let me let you get right into it. And you guys, I am super excited for what we're learning today. So go ahead and take it away.
Okay, perfect. So again, my company is called the Financial Quench. The meaning behind that is pretty much quenching financial thirst. A lot of people are thirsty for financial information. So the Financial Quench is going to satisfy your financial thirst and educate you on financial topics that will help you make decisions. So this is the background, and that he already explained about myself with my background with the master's in business, in accounting. And my focus is to help millennials and young adults focus and take control of their finances. So I know a lot of people are ready for financial freedom, whatever it means to you, whatever financial freedom means to everyone else is going to be different. My financial freedom journey and your financial freedom journey is not going to be the same, because we all have different paths, whatever we want to do. We have different, children that the different amount of children that we want to have. Some people want to get married, some people don't. Some people want to retire by the beach, some people just want to retire in the country. So financial freedom has plenty of meaning when it comes to you personally, but the meaning remains for financial freedom is being free without and knowing what financial decisions that you need to make depending on whatever your lifestyle is or whatever lifestyle that you want to achieve. So bottom line, financial freedom, when it comes to that, has one meaning. Everybody wants to be able to afford the time to do things that they really want to do, retire early, spend more time with their children. So whatever it is, it all remains the same. We all need the financial freedom to be able to do whatever it is that we want to do. So this is what financial freedom means to me. For example, I love, going on vacations. I love a nice home. A lot of people can relate to that. So in order for you to be able to achieve the things that you want financially, you need financial literacy and you need financial freedom. You're not going to achieve anything that you want. Let's say you love to go on vacation, but if you're scrapping for pennies all the time, then you're not going to be able to afford the lifestyle that you want.
Yep.
Financially, your finances depict where you want to live, what neighborhood you stay in. So if you're not being up to par with your finances, then you're not going to be able to afford that life, that house that you want, the vacations that you want to go on. So that is why your financial freedom is very important. Some people love nice things. A lot of people love nice shoes, nice bags. I know my girls, we love nice shoes, nice bags, nice jewelry. Some men love jewelry, nice stuff, nice cars. So whatever it is that you want, whatever you feel like financial freedom is going to bring to you, it's okay to be selfish with your finances, depending on what you want. You don't have to. I know sometimes people are like, I just want to be financially free just because I want to leave a legacy. Although that's good, but let's be realistic. A lot of us want to achieve financial freedom to be able to go to the store and drive our dream car, So it's okay to be selfish with your finances. You don't have to say, I want to achieve financial freedom because I want to leave stocks behind for my children. Like, you can enjoy the fruits of your labor by buying something that you really want for yourself. So a lot of people want to spend more time with their kids. They want to be able to buy time. They want to be able to take their children to Disney World whenever they want to. They want to be able to spend more time with family, more family vacations. Because your finances are in order, because you have financial freedom, that can also help your marriage. That can also increase the longevity of your marriage, the way that your children sees you. So that can also help you. And it's very big. And a lot of divorces happen because of infidelity and finances. So if finances are one of the biggest causes of divorce, then it's a big deal. So you have to make sure that your finances are in order for you, the man and the woman. So it doesn't all falls on the guy. The woman also has an equal responsibility, especially if children are involved as well.
Yeah.
So this is the textbook definition of what financial freedom is. It just means that you get to make life decisions without being overly stressed about the financial impact, because you are prepared, you control your finances instead of being controlled by them. A lot of people, instead of them controlling their finances control them and tell them what to do. So you want to be in a position where you tell your money what to do, because at the end of the day, if you are financially savvy, you can put your money to work for you. And that is one of the biggest things that you can do with your money. Is you tell your money when to work, what to do, and how much you want it to bring it back to you. You don't have to worry about, customers, overhead. Money is not going to call out from work. Money is always going to show up if you make it work for you.
Yeah.
So a lot of things when it comes to focusing on your finances, there are a lot of things that we were told that, a lot of bad stigmas that we were told that you need to take away from. And you need to pretty much infuse yourself. I'm looking for the word, but I can't find it, with positive affirmations.
And let me interject here for a minute. You know, one of my mentors always says that change our awareness, increase our awareness on the things that matters, then we'll be able to. And a lot of it is, it's the lack of awareness,
Right.
and the fact that um, the things that got us to where we are, the brain that got us to where we are, is not going to get us out of to that place that we want to go, right? So I feel like a lot of people, I mean, education is not in the classroom. So when it comes to that mindset, you have to go out there, invest yourself, and pick. I mean, YouTube is free, guys. So to be able to get yourself on a mindset where you understand that there is no scarcity out there. You know what I mean? So there is no scarcity. It may show you, the media may project that we may be going through a financial crisis, but let me tell you what they're not telling you. There's a lot of people thriving in the times of crisis. So it's all about changing your mindset, changing your beliefs, and the things that you attract will change. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That definitely is important. Like you said, even doesn't matter what time we're in. We could be in a deep depression. We could be in a crisis, financial crisis. There's always going to be someone or a company that is thriving. So depending on how you position yourself, depending on what your model is, you're going to be thriving depending on whatever situation you're in. Look at Amazon. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Amazon is thriving better than ever. So again, like you said, just increase your awareness. There is no scarcity. You have to position yourself to be able to receive whatever it is that you're seeking. If you're not positioning yourself to become that person that is deserving of receiving whatever you're asking, you're not going to receive it. So you have to, there are a lot of things that were said about money that is so, that is a bad connotation, but it's not that bad. Money is a vehicle to be able to do the things that you really want to do. Let's say one of your goals is to donate money to some type of nonprofit. Yeah. You're not able to do so. Nonprofit is not going to thrive if you're not financially ready to donate to that specific nonprofit. So with having that financial security, you're able to do the things that you want to do. You can support the causes that you want to support. And, that comes with having the vehicle, which is money, to be able to do so. Yep. So with changing your mindset when it comes to money, you have to think differently about the way that you used to think about money. So you have to tell yourself that you deserve to be financially free. You don't have to be a slave to debt all the time. You can, although I personally believe that there is good and bad debt. You can use debt to make you more money. So there is not all debt is bad.
Nope.
So there are good ways to leverage that to make you more money and expand your financial portfolio.
That goes back to education.
Yes, that goes back to education. So it all depends. Like I said, financial freedom, it's a journey that only is personal to you. That's why I said my journey and not your journey is going to be different. So whatever, I can look at debt as a way to leverage to make me more. You might not think that way, but you still need the financial education to know whether or not you can make that decision to know if it's good or not for yourself. Yeah. Another thing that you need to tell yourself is money comes to me in different ways. Now, I know there's a lot of things going on not a lot of things going on, but a lot of saying that, become your own boss. Not everybody needs to be their own boss, but you need to have money come to you in several different ways aside from your job. A lot of people were let go from their job and they have zero source of income. So you need to have your money work for you in other ways while you're at work. You don't have to quit your job. You don't have to, if you love what you do, you don't have to quit. But you need multiple sources of income. One is too close to zero, and you need to have money come to you in different ways. Because when one source gets cut off, you have other sources to help you sustain whatever you have going on. Yeah. And then another thing you need to learn, ask yourself every day, which I really do ask myself that every day, even if I don't ask myself that every in the same verbiage, but I do ask myself, how can I grow my money every single day? So whatever it is that you have right now, whatever money you have in your savings, your checking account, how can I make that money makes me more money? The whole goal of earning more is to make that whatever you have aside makes you more money instead of just sitting there and you don't know what's going on, and then now you're tempted to go buy things that you don't need. So you
Yeah.
need to learn, how can I make my current income grow me more money so I can make more money and make whatever profit that I've made make me more money. So
Yeah.
that should always be your mindset when it comes to that. And when it comes to your financial goals, you need to know what your financial goals are. You need to have goals that are realistic, achievable, measurable.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, sometimes their goals are not achieved because it's not something that can be measured. So you want to save $10,000 and you don't have $1,000 saved is not realistic.
Mhm.
So if you don't have $1,000, you need to save $10,000. Something more realistic is to try to save your first $1,000. So if you don't
True.
have 1,000, you're not going to have 10 with that same mindset. So
Yeah.
whatever it is that you need to cut back on, you need to make sure you do so, but you need to have the goals. How are you going to achieve the goals? I need to save $1,000 by October. So now you need to ask yourself, how am I going to save that? So you know what your goal is. So it's $1,000 by October. And next question is when. So you know it's October. How much? $1,000. So you have that saved. So now you need to know how you're going to do that. So
Mhm.
a lot of times it's right in front of you. So you need to know, okay, I need to do this in order to achieve $1,000 by October. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but at least you have something to work towards, and it's more achievable if you do it in baby steps and you do steps along the way rather than saying, oh, I need $10,000. I know I'm not going to save that, so let me just not even start. So start somewhere, start small, start with something that is more achievable. And then when you do it that way, it just becomes something that is more, it gives you more encouragement because you can see yourself checking off things off of your list. So
Yeah.
now it's like, okay, now I need to get to the next 1,000. So now you have two. So now it becomes more achievable and it becomes, okay, I can do this instead of, oh man, $10,000 seems so far away. I don't know if I can do it. So I'm not going to even start. So definitely write something that is more measurable and achievable so you can get going.
Definitely. And it's a good thing you said that too, because a lot of people wants to climb Mount Everest, but and the moment they get under, like just by looking up, they get so frustrated by looking at the size of the mountain. But really the point of getting to the summit, you have to start with the first step. And then
Yeah.
also a lot of things that people fall of doing is that once you make a commitment public, you are more likely to accomplish that.
Yes.
So if you're gonna make financial goals, it's always good to bring your closest friends, family on board with you because they're gonna be your biggest supporters. Now, there are people who's eventually not going to support you once they start realizing that you surpassing them. Now that is the moment you know that you're growing, so you need to find someone else. So always be mindful of that. So I always love to make sure that I elaborate on that thought because I know what it feels like to have people around you that doesn't support you. Because
Yeah.
I've seen it over and over. And the reason is not because they don't love you, it's usually because you're showing them the person that they're not. So they don't like that. So
Yeah.
it's always important to make sure that you
Yeah,
you,
stay
you let them
accountable
know.
at all times. Yeah,
Exactly.
accountability is very important. If you don't have people to hold you accountable, if you don't want anyone in your business, which you should, you should at least have somebody. A lot of people sometimes they can afford someone like a professional or a coach to help them hold them accountable. So if
Mhm.
you don't want your family and friends, what you can do is download apps that hold you accountable. So they'll send you a text message, hey, you haven't deposited any money in your savings account, so
Mhm.
you're not reaching your goal. So now that you see it, it's more, okay, man, I have to go and, you know, I have to go ahead and deposit transfer money now because I just got the notification. So
Yeah.
if there are ways to achieve whatever it is that you want to do, but if you're going to use an excuse as to why you're not able to do it, then no one can force you. But there are ways. There are multiple ways. You can hire a professional. You can have your friends and family, or you can have an app to remind you. So that way, no one is in your business. No one knows what you're doing. Your goals are for yourself, and it's just you and your app.
Awesome. Awesome. Great
All
stuff.
right. So I pulled this quote, not a quote, but this stat a little bit over ago. So it probably is not relevant, but it's I at one point this year, maybe 2 months ago, over 22 million people were out of work, and a lot of people only had one source of income, no emergency fund. They don't know how much disposable income they have, so they're out of work and they have zero income coming in. And that is why, from my previous slides, I stress that it is very important to have multiple sources. Now, not all of your sources are going to be bringing you multiple figures every single month. However, it's better to have something to at least cover. Let's say your other source of income can only cover your rent or can only cover food and gas and necessities. So that's very important. So at least you have something that you can check off your list. But if you have one source of income and you lose that source, then now you at zero, and there's something else you can do. And a lot of people don't even have $1,000 in an emergency fund. Now, $1,000 is not realistic for any emergency fund, but that is the minimum that you should always have. And a lot of people are struggling to even save $1,000. So if you're one of those people that's struggling to save $1,000 and you only have one source of income, then you really have a lot of work to do. You need to start working on your goals. What do I need to do? How much money do I need to put aside? Where should I start? What should I start cutting back on? So all these things you need to be asking yourself when it comes to at least saving some type of emergency fund. So when there is an emergency, when emergency fund is not for you to keep transferring money from your savings to your checking. It's an emergency only. So only for emergency purposes. So you need to build something. So when you do have an emergency, you're able to pay for it. So financial freedom allow you to not be stressed out during the pandemic. A lot of people were stressed out. A lot of people were concerned. It's okay to be concerned, but if you're stressed out, you don't know what to do, you have no direction, then you don't have financial freedom. It also helps you to go on vacation without killing your finances. A lot of people work and they haven't taken any vacation. That's very sad. I'm not saying you should be on vacation every day. However, you need to stay away. You need a new scenery. You need to refresh your mind. You need to expand your mind so you can see what's out there, what's possible. If you wake up every day, you do the same thing, the same routine, you go to work, everybody hates their job, everybody hates their position, everybody complains about work, everybody complains about how money's bad, how rich people are bad, how everything is so unfortunate because nothing was given to them. Everybody's complaining about how they hate waking up. It's Monday, now they have to go to work. If you go back to the same thing every single day, you're going to absorb that same information. But if you go on vacation and you see what's out there, you see people living their lives, you're staying away from work, you'll see what's possible, what's out there. Like it would give you a different perspective on, I need more time away from work. I need more financial freedom. I need to be able to afford this. How can I position myself to be able to afford that? So going on vacation allows you to expand your mind and see what's possible. A lot of people want to retire early. That's not possible without achieving financial freedom. A lot of people don't know how much money they need to retire at whatever age it is that they need to retire. A lot of people, if you ask them what's their retirement age, they'll tell you 65. Retiring age is no age. It just depends on how much money you have. A lot of people don't know that. They just think that you need to be 65 to retire. There are 30-year-olds that are retired. And you just need to know how much money you need to retire and what age you want to retire. And whatever that money is, just need to make sure that you have a way to produce those finances so you can retire whatever age that it is. And financial freedom allows you to give back generously. A lot of people that are giving back, I noticed that a lot of people have a lot to say about people who have money and the way that they should donate their money. And if you have I'm a big advocate for that. If you have something that you're really passionate about, one, I don't think you should be telling people where to donate their money. That's personal to them, whatever they want to focus on. If they want to spend $10,000 down the river, that's their money. That's what they want to choose to do with their money. They have the financial freedom to do so. If you feel otherwise and you feel some type of way about it, then you need to produce those finances so you can donate to your own cause. So financial freedoms will allow you to do so, but you can't have too much to say about other people's finances if your finances are not where you need to go. So if you really passionate about XYZ, when you have your financial freedom and you have money, you can donate to them and help their cause.
Yeah.
So a lot of people would say, you know, how do I start? I don't know where to start. There are so many ways that you can start. First, you need to know where your money is going. I know a lot of people don't like to budget. So I like to use money allocation. So pretty much what that means is just telling your money where to go. You know, if your money is telling you where it's going, then you're not in control over your money. You need to tell your money where to go. I started doing the budgeting thing couple years ago. I would say probably 2012, 13-ish. No, maybe 14, 13, 14. No, 12, 13. So it doesn't matter. I started doing that a while back because I was at a point where I'm like, you know what? Every day I'm going to work and I don't know. I want to do something with my money. I don't want to just let it spend it. Don't know what's going on. Don't know how much money I need to save. So I started doing budgeting. You know, I was very strategic with it. I wanted to make sure that I had this amount of money by this certain time. So I wrote it down. Every time I got paid, I transferred money. The first things, as soon as I got paid, I transferred the money. Sometimes I'll have $1 in my checking account, but I have the money in my savings account. That's all I have until I get paid. I have $1. Yeah. So I was very strict with my budget. And it's to the point where I've done it so many times where I can literally do a budget in my head. And people think that it's crazy that I can still do it, where I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the grocery store and I'm spending $140 and I'll spend $140.
Yeah.
Because I've done it so many times and I buy mostly the same things and I buy them around the same time. So it's so easy for me to do it because it's a repetition because I do it so many times. But some people don't even want to take the first step. You have to be willing to take this first step. Otherwise, your money is always going to be in control of you.
Yeah.
And so what is a budget? So it's pretty much a system that allows you to control the inflows and outflows of your income and your expenses. Whatever job that you have, let's say, or whatever store that you shop at, let's say, for example, Publix or Walmart, they have a budget. They have a budget department. They're not going to be spending money on marketing, payroll, new hires, or buying cost of goods sold. They're not going to be doing that without a budget. They need to know how much money can they allocate towards advertising, how much money can they cut back on payroll. That is why a lot of times you'll apply for a company and they'll tell you we're not taking anyone right now because they can't afford it. How do they know that they can't afford it? Because they're so big. They have a budgeting department that tells them these are what our numbers are. So imagine you're going to work for a company that has no budget. They just want to, okay, you know what? Today we feel like we're paying you $10 an hour. Tomorrow we're going to feel like we're paying you $12 an hour. You'll think that this company is not sustainable. You don't want to work there. So why do you treat your finances that way? So do you want to be able to tell your finances, you know what? I spent $200 this month going out to eat. I need to cut back on going out or buying clothes or spending money on Uber Eats this month because I've already exceeded my allocated amount towards whatever it is that, you know, I've over exceeded. So it doesn't mean that you're restricting yourself. You just know where your money is going and you're able to cut back or increase depending on whatever you've spent your money on. Definitely. And if you're having a hard time paying your bills, you want to buy a house, you want to make any big purchases, you want to know where your money is going, or you're forgetting to make payments. A lot of people are not making their payments on time because they don't have a budget. They don't know when payments are due. So while you're crafting your budget, you need to know what your needs and your wants are. So you need to figure out what do I really need? You don't need cable. You might want Netflix, but you don't need it. Yep. But I wouldn't say to cut everything because that's not realistic. Mm-hmm. So if you have cable, I would say, well, cut cable completely because you shouldn't be spending hundreds of dollars on something and you can't pay your bills on time. So cut cable and then get Netflix and Hulu. You know, depending on what phone company you have, sometimes they offer that with your plan for free. So, you know, these are things that you can look at. You might not want to eat, get Uber Eats. You know, you buy Uber Eats is crazy expensive. You buy something for $10 and your total is $18 with fees.
Yeah.
Maybe you should drive yourself and go pick up your food instead of buying Uber Eats, or even better, just cook at home.
True.
It doesn't have to be every single day. Like, it doesn't have to be all the time. It's just cutting back. You're allocating how much money you want to spend on Uber Eats. And when you exceed that amount, you just don't do it until next month.
Yep. Definitely, definitely.
So why you should budget? Just commit to it. Cut down your expenses. Have your bills on auto pay and edit as needed, because things are going to happen and you're going to need to make some changes. How to eliminate more debt, because that's something that a lot of people has. You know, I personally have debt. I have student loans. So sometimes it's inevitable. Some people want to eliminate debt completely and some people don't. So the easiest ways to do it is just stop getting more. Don't spend more than your 30% of your, of your credit card. And always remember to have an emergency fund. So I just want to talk about credit for a second. I want to say that credit ties into your budgeting, ties into having a good credit score. If you have a budget set up and you know when your bills are due, then you would pay your bills on time, and that will help you to not have a bad credit score.
True.
So having credit, it just allows you to use other people's money. And in order to do so, you need to show them that this is the best way to explain it, but it doesn't make sense. You need to show lenders that you don't need their money in order for them to give you money. Yep. If you show desperation and if you show that you need money, then they're not going to extend credit to you. So you need to show them that I'm a responsible person. And everybody knows of all the three credit bureaus. I just want to express that they're not related and they're very independent companies. They're not nonprofit, they are for profit. And sometimes something may report on Equifax and it's not an Experian. Yeah. So I just wanted to say that. If you do want to get access to your free credit report, you can get one once a year. Mm-hmm. You can go to annualcreditreport.com and you get access to your free credit report. You do not get a credit score, but you can access the credit report to see whatever negative is on there, so you can try to work on that. This is what makes up your credit profile. So your payment history, your amount owed, your length of credit, and the type of credit that you have. So a lot of times people say, I did one thing and my credit didn't go up. You have to think of it as a whole pie. What did that one thing that you do? How much does it make up of your whole credit profile? So it's not. Sometimes people think that paying off something should increase their score by 10 points. For example, it doesn't work that way because it's a whole algorithm and there's a lot that goes into place when it comes to that. So this is a graph of what a good credit score is and what's the ratio of credit scores. A good place to be at is 720. If you're at a 720, you're pretty good in a lot of financial institutions. A lot of them have different guidelines, obviously, but 720 is pretty solid. So if you have a 720 and you have a good profile, so you're pretty good in their eyes. Yeah. Always make sure for your credit that your debt to income is less than 30%. So for example, I like to use that example. If you have a credit limit of $1,000, always keep less than $300 on that card. So whatever it is, just multiply it by 0.30. And whatever that amount is, make sure that you're below that amount at all times. And these are the different types of credit that you can have. You can have a mortgage, personal loan, car loan, credit card, home equity line of credit. These are credits. Sometimes it can be secured or unsecured depending on what type of loan that it is. Mm-hmm. If you have a mortgage, it's definitely a secured loan because it's secured on your home. A personal loan can be unsecured. Sometimes the interest rate will be higher because they have no collateral against whatever money that you're borrowing. So they're pretty much just trusting your credit to pay them back. Yeah. A lot of people sometimes when they go buy a car, they make a big mistake. They go to the car dealership and they let the dealership run their credit multiple times, and they tell the dealership, okay, I want to pay $300 a month. And the car deal, and they think about the interest that they're paying.
Yeah.
So the interest rate is really how much the car is costing you. So you can buy the same car as somebody else, but their payment is so much more because their credit is so much worse.
Yeah.
So in this example, someone who has a 620 credit score ends up paying $9,000 in interest when you have someone with a 720 plus, they're only paying $2,500 in interest because their credit is good. A lot of times it's better off, well, all times it's better off to make sure your credit is fine before you go buy a car.
Yeah.
And sometimes I know accidents happen. That's why you always want to make sure that your credit is good at all times. So when you do have emergencies, that's not when you're trying to buy, get credit or fix it out of desperation.
Yeah. And another thing when it comes to cars too, I think it's always best to go to your bank that you already have a relationship with. Most of the times you get a better options with them than going to the dealership. It's always best to walk in and say, okay, I have my finance ready. So that's a great thing. Like I'm going through that right now where I just went straight to the bank and, and the company, they're like, okay, all they care about is their money. They're like, okay, here's the best way to send it to us. And then that's it.
And that's it. Yeah, it's better to come ready so you don't have to try to have them run you multiple times out of desperation. And you already got your thing. So I always recommend everyone to at least have a bank at a credit union.
Yeah.
Because if you have a relationship with them, they're more likely to give you a better rate rather than going to some financial institution for, like, for example, Honda Finance or something like that. So definitely go to your credit union, have an account with them, have a relationship with them, so they can give you a better score. Another thing that I want to emphasize when it comes to credit is don't do settlements, because it's just bad. Let's just put it this way. I know a lot of times these companies will promise, okay, well, you don't have to make payments to us, to the companies, and then just pay us, and then they'll settle all your accounts for you. I used to work at a finance company, and we handled collections. Most of the time that you're going to be going on a settlement, your account has to reach at least 90 to 120 days past due in order for you to be able to do the settlement. So if you're not current on your account, you just have high credit card debt, don't settle. Try your best to at least pay whatever you can. Get on a payment. Create a financial plan to get out of the debt instead of doing the debt settlement. Because what happens is they would make you purposely go late on all of your payments, and then they will settle for you, because you can't settle on an account that's current. It has to go to collections before you can settle. So in essence, what happens on the back end is the company has to write off the debt in order for you to be able to settle. So if the debt has not been written off, you cannot settle on it. So they will purposely make you go late and be in collections so they can settle on your behalf for you. So that just butchers your credit completely. And then once that is done, you have all of these collections from all these credit card companies on your credit, and you can't get no credit. So I would do not recommend them at all. I know there are a lot of companies promising you all these bells and whistles. No, don't do it. If you can't avoid it, please do not do it. And a lot of times people are already, gone through the bad credit process. So a good way to rebuild your credit is definitely check your credit. Do not recommend co-signing for anyone. I do not co-sign for anyone, so I do not recommend you do so either. As soon as you co-sign for someone, your friendship or whatever relationship you have with them is in shambles. Because as soon as they don't pay and you ask them to pay, they're not going to answer you. They're going to be ignoring you, and they're going to feel like you're the worst person in the world. So do not co-sign. And pay your bills on time. And also, if you have one late payment with any bank or whatever, send them a goodwill letter. See if they can remove your late payment instead of just having that stay on your credit for a long period of time. So that's another tip. So after you've worked on your credit and also you worked on your budgeting, next step is, to invest your money.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have that here. Oh, I don't. I thought I removed that, but it's not on here. So
that's okay.
Yeah, so I have an investing portion, but I guess it came off.
No, it's fine. You can just talk about it. I mean, you don't have to.
Yeah, I'll just talk about it a little bit. So definitely, you want to focus on investing your money. It doesn't. You don't have to be a financial expert or guru on Wall Street. You don't have to be someone who's on the computer every single day. You know, investing your money, but it's very important because that allows your money to work for you, and you don't have to specifically be present for your money to work. So, an investment for, let's say, for $200 over time invested, you can get to your retirement early because you're investing money on the side. So that is why it's important to have money work for you. So while you at work, something else is also working for you. There's only 24 hours in a day, and if you work in a 9 to 5, you can only, if you only work a 9 to 5, you can only make money when you're clocked in at work. However, you have multiple bills, you have a lot of things that you need to pay, so you need to have money and being invested and working for you in the back end, so you can have money to make you more money on overall on the back end.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. I mean, I got so much out of this, and I feel like, this is, if I were to pay for this, I wouldn't know how much to pay, because it's basically like a crash course for financial education, and this is very impactful because you shared a lot of great nuggets, and really, I cannot thank you enough. I noticed you had your how can we connect with you, because I definitely want to give you the opportunity, anyone who has questions and things like that, to reach out. And then, so it's definitely appreciated for you to come and add value to us. Thank you so much. And, so really, I mean, I got so much out of this. I felt like I went back to Financial 101, basically. If there's a crash course for Financial 101, I'll definitely go to it, because that's how much I've learned. I mean, I got as far as like how to budget, those that check, and emergency funds check. And not only you tell us what's important, but you also give us an action plan as far as what we can do next. So definitely thank you so much for that.
Pleasure.
And like I said, guys, I only bring people that I like, trust, and that I know that can add value to you guys. So definitely make sure to drop us some comments and questions if you may have. We'll get them answered for you in the comment box. So definitely check us out, guys. And we're done for today, guys. Thank you so much for giving us the time of your day.